Hey, it's me. And today, we're diving into one of the most mind-boggling questions ever. Does the universe have a hidden purpose? I know, this sounds like one of those late-night thoughts you have when you're staring at the ceiling, trying to figure out if anything in this world actually makes sense. But what if I told you there are some seriously wild theories out there that might make you question everything you thought you knew about existence? So let's get straight into it. Here's the thing, we're all living our lives doing what we do, but have you ever stopped to wonder why? Not just why you're alive, but why life exists at all. Why does the universe allow us to be here, thinking these thoughts, asking these questions? Is it all random? Or is there something bigger going on? Some scientists and philosophers out there think that maybe, just maybe, the universe didn't just accidentally produce life. They're saying life and consciousness, the fact that you're aware right now, is actually a key part of the universe. And that leads us to the idea that there might be a purpose behind it all. Now, let me hit you with this. What if the universe needed us to exist? Yeah, I said it. What if the entire point of the universe was to eventually create beings like us who could think, feel, and ask questions about why we're here? It's a theory that flips the whole random chance idea on its head. Some people call it teleology, the idea that things in the universe happen for a reason, that there's a goal or a direction to all of this. But before we get too far, let's back up a bit. The universe itself is insane. I mean, think about it, everything from the stars to black holes, to the fact that you're sitting here right now. Breathing is all part of this cosmic orchestra. And here's where it gets really wild. The universe seems fine-tuned for life. What does that mean? Well, there are these fundamental constants, like the strength of gravity or the way atoms stick together, that are so perfectly set, it's almost impossible to believe they just happen by accident. Scientists say that if any one of these constants was off by even the tiniest fraction, life as we know it wouldn't exist. No stars, no planets, no you. So is that just a coincidence? Or is it part of a plan? Some people think this fine-tuning points to the idea that the universe was designed. Like maybe there's some kind of higher power or intelligence that set things up this way on purpose. But hold up, before you think I'm going all religious on you, there's another theory that doesn't involve a god or creator. It's called the multiverse theory.
Click subscribe to this channel to get more profound spiritual lesson.
The multiverse theory says that our universe is just one of trillions of universes. In some of these universes, the constants are totally random and life could never exist. But in our universe, we got lucky. Everything lined up perfectly, and here we are. It's like rolling the dice a trillion times, and in one of those rolls, you hit the jackpot. But here's the thing, whether you believe in a creator or the multiverse, both theories have something in common. They're both kind of mind-blowing, and neither one can be proven, at least not yet. So we're left with this huge question, what's really going on here? Now, let's take this even deeper. Some philosophers suggest that the universe didn't just allow life to exist, it actually needed life to exist. They argue that consciousness, our ability to think, to feel, to experience the world, isn't just a side effect of evolution. It's the point of everything. In other words, the universe might have developed in such a way that it had to create conscious beings, us, so that it could be aware of itself. And here's where things get even crazier. What if the universe can't exist without consciousness? Like, what if it's a two-way street? We exist because the universe made us, but the universe also exists because we're here to observe it. Scientists like John Wheeler, a legendary physicist, thought that our act of observing the universe actually helps create it. It's called the participatory universe theory. Basically, the universe is incomplete without observers, without us. I know that sounds insane, but think about it. Quantum physics already suggests that particles don't really decide what they are until we observe them. So if that's true on the smallest scale, maybe it's true on the biggest scale too. But now I've got to ask you something. If the universe needs us to observe it, what does that say about the nature of reality itself? Is reality just something we're creating as we go? Or is it something that's always been there, waiting for us to discover it? The universe is waking up, and it's us. So where does consciousness fit into all of this? One theory is that the universe is slowly waking up through us. I know, that sounds like some sci-fi movie, but hear me out. The universe started out as a bunch of particles and energy, right? And over billions of years, it got more and more complex. First, you had atoms, then stars, then planets, and eventually life. Life started simple, single-celled organisms. Then it got more complex, leading to plants, animals, and eventually us. Some scientists and philosophers think this progression isn't just random. They think the universe is actually evolving toward greater and greater complexity. And at the top of that complexity is consciousness, our ability to think, to feel, to ask these big questions. But here's the mind-blowing part. If the universe is evolving toward consciousness, then it's not finished yet. We're just a part of the process. The universe might still be evolving, and who knows, maybe in the future, consciousness will spread throughout the entire cosmos. Maybe one day, the universe as a whole will become conscious, aware of itself, aware of its own existence. But let me ask you, if the universe is evolving toward more complexity, more consciousness, what's our role in that? Are we just passengers, or are we part of the engine driving that evolution forward? The future of consciousness, could we be the universe's final form? Now let's talk about the future. If the universe is heading towards some kind of conscious singularity, what does that look like? Some people think that eventually, life and consciousness will spread throughout the entire universe. We're talking about a time trillions of years from now when intelligent beings, maybe even our descendants, could control entire galaxies. They might reshape planets, harness the energy of stars, and create new forms of life that we can't even imagine. And here's where things get really speculative. What if at the end of everything, when the universe is old and the stars are dying, consciousness reaches a point where it can control time and space itself? Some philosophers and scientists think that consciousness might be able to reach back across time and create the conditions for its own existence. That's right, the future could be shaping the past. I know that sounds like something out of a sci-fi novel, but think about it. If consciousness can influence the universe, why couldn't it influence time? Maybe, just maybe, the universe had to create us because we're the ones who will eventually shape it. Now, I've got to ask you again, what do you think happens next? If consciousness is the universe's final form, what does that mean for us? Are we just a tiny step in a cosmic process that's billions of years in the making? Or is there something even bigger waiting for us on the horizon? All right, so now that we've gone deep into the idea that the universe might be evolving toward higher forms of consciousness, let's take it a step further. If we're part of this cosmic process, where do we fit into it? Are we just along for the ride, or do we have an actual role to play in how everything turns out? Here's a wild thought. What if humanity is a crucial part of the universe's plan? Think about it. There's no denying that we're the most advanced form of life we know of, at least in terms of intelligence and self-awareness. We've built cities, sent people to the moon, and we're starting to unlock the mysteries of the universe itself. Sure, we've also created a lot of problems, war, pollution, you name it, but on the flip side, we've also created art, philosophy, and technology that are pushing the boundaries of what's possible. Now, some thinkers believe that humanity's ability to do all of this isn't just a fluke. It could be that we're actually a necessary part of the universe's evolution. Like maybe the universe needed beings like us to come along, beings who are capable of not just surviving, but also questioning, creating, and discovering the deeper truths about existence. If that's the case, then it's possible that we're only at the beginning of what humans, or some future version of humans, will be able to accomplish. Here's where it gets even weirder. What if we're not just the result of the universe's evolution, but the drivers of it? Think about it. Every new discovery we make, every piece of technology we invent, every time we expand our understanding of the universe, we're shaping the future in ways we can't even fully comprehend. It's almost like we're co-creators in the universe's evolution. And here's a deep question for you. If we're shaping the universe's future, are we doing it consciously? Or are we just stumbling our way through it? Could it be that we're part of a much larger plan, one that we're not yet fully aware of? And if so, what would it mean for us to finally realize our role in all of this? So let's talk about what's next. If we're part of this cosmic process, what's our role moving forward? Some scientists and philosophers think that the next step in the universe's evolution is for conscious life, maybe us, maybe something beyond us, to spread throughout the cosmos. Right now, we're confined to this tiny planet in a massive universe, but the potential for us to explore, expand, and even reshape the cosmos is out there. Think about it, we've already sent probes to other planets, landed rovers on Mars, and we're seriously talking about sending humans to colonize other worlds. But what if that's just the beginning? What if our destiny is to move beyond just surviving on Earth and to start spreading life and consciousness to other parts of the universe? Some people call this the cosmic imperative, the idea that life and consciousness are meant to expand throughout the universe, maybe even transform it. Imagine a future where humans, or some advanced version of us, are traveling between galaxies, terraforming planets, and creating new forms of life. In that future, we wouldn't just be passive observers of the universe, we would be actively shaping it. We'd be taking part in the creation of new worlds, new possibilities. But here's the crazy part. What if the universe needs us to do this? What if, without conscious beings like us, the universe can't reach its full potential? It's like we're the key to unlocking the next phase of the universe's evolution. And if that's true, then we've got a huge responsibility on our shoulders. So now I've got to ask you, if the universe is counting on us to take the next step, what are we waiting for? Are we ready to embrace that role? Are we ready to become the conscious drivers of the universe's evolution? All right, let's get into the future. If the universe is evolving toward higher forms of consciousness, and if we're part of that process, what's the endgame? Some thinkers believe that the universe is heading toward a singularity, a point where life, intelligence, and consciousness reach their ultimate form. This idea has been explored by philosophers like Pierre Teilhard de Chardin, who called it the omega point. The omega point is this concept that over billions or even trillions of years, life and consciousness will spread throughout the entire universe, eventually reaching the state of perfect unity and awareness. Think of it like the universe's final form, a state where everything is connected, everything is conscious, and everything understands itself fully. But here's the kicker. Some people think that this ultimate state of consciousness might already exist in the future. And if that's true, then this future consciousness could be influencing the past, including the present moment we're living in right now. In other words, the end of the universe might be shaping its beginning. This idea, known as retrocausality, suggests that the future could be reaching back in time and helping to create the conditions for its own existence. I know that sounds pretty out there, but the theory of retrocausality already has some support in quantum physics. In the quantum world, particles don't just exist in the present, they can influence both the past and the future. So if that's true on the quantum level, why couldn't it be true on the cosmic level too? And here's a question for you. If the future is influencing the present, what does that say about free will? Are we making choices, or are we just following a path that's already been set for us by some future version of ourselves? And if that's the case, can we change the future, or is it inevitable? Now, here's where things get really interesting. Some scientists and futurists think we might be on the verge of a cosmic awakening. What does that mean? Well, it means that humanity could be on the brink of a massive shift in consciousness. Right now, we're still figuring things out, we're still divided by borders, ideologies, and conflicts. But what if, in the near future, we start to transcend all of that? What if we start to see ourselves not just as individuals, not just as nations, but as part of a larger, universal process? There's already evidence that we're heading in that direction. Advances in technology, artificial intelligence, and our understanding of the universe are pushing us toward a future where we might be able to transcend our biological limits. Some people think that we could eventually merge with machines, creating a new form of life that's both biological and technological. This could lead to a kind of superconsciousness, a state where we're all connected, not just to each other, but to the universe itself. And if that happens, what's next? Could we become the universe's way of fully understanding itself? Could we be the ones who bring the universe to its final form, where everything is conscious, everything is connected, and everything has meaning? But here's the million-dollar question: are we ready for that? Are we ready to take the next step in the universe's evolution? Or are we still too caught up in our own small problems to see the bigger picture? What will you do now that you know? All right, we've covered a lot of ground today. We've talked about whether the universe has a hidden purpose, whether life and consciousness are part of some grand design, and whether we might be the key to the universe's evolution. But now it's time to turn it over to you. What do you think? Is the universe just a random collection of particles and energy, or is there something deeper going on? Are we just here by chance, or are we part of a cosmic plan? And if we are, what are you going to do about it? Because here's the thing, if the universe really is evolving toward higher forms of consciousness, and if we're part of that process, then we've got a role to play. The question is, are we going to step up and take responsibility for that role, or are we going to ignore it and keep living our lives like it's all meaningless? The choice is yours. But remember this, whatever you decide, you're not just making a choice for yourself. You're making a choice for the future of life, consciousness, and the universe itself.